So, here is an estimate of how long it might take to count to 6 million. Let's take this section of 10 numbers. I've timed myself how long it takes me to say that section of 10 numbers, and it takes me 45 seconds. So if I divide that by 10, I've got an average of about 4.5 seconds per number. 6 million numbers, 4.5 times 6 million, that gives me 270 million seconds. But we still have a similar problem in that we don't really have an obvious understanding of how long 270 million seconds is. So we're going to have to change that into a unit of time we're more comfortable with. So if I divide it by 60, I'll have it in minutes, 450,000 minutes. But still, I don't think I'm there yet in terms of really understanding how long that is. Divide by 60 again, and I'll have hours, 7,500 hours. And again, I think most of us don't really have a grasp on how long 7,500 hours is. So let's move on. Think about my working day and how many hours a day I think I might be able to count for. Well, I think I want 8 hours a day sleep, 2 hours for eating, 2 hours for other stuff, and a bit of free time. Really, I think it's reasonable to imagine that I could only count non-stop for 8 hours a day. That's 8 hours of actual counting. I think that would be fairly intense already. So if I go back to my 7,500 hours, and I consider that I'm going to count 8 hours a day, if I divide that by 8, then I'll have 937.5 days. And suddenly, I think we're beginning to see some perspective, because we all go straight probably to the number of days there are in a year and start seeing multiples of years. So if I divided it by 30, for example, I'd get multiples of months and come up with 31 months. And again, probably we've all gone very quickly to the idea that that's about 2.5 years. And suddenly we've got some serious perspective on how big the number 6 million is. Because we've estimated that to count to 6 million would take us approximately 31 months, 2.5 years, of counting 8 hours non-stop every day. Now I think that gives 6 million a meaning that it didn't have before. When we hear the number 6 million, we can relate to how long it would take to count to 6 million, and that being a very, very, very long time. And so, for example, if we hear the statistic that approximately 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust, that number, although clearly horrific in any case, has suddenly taken on a little bit more meaning.